Well, I think today we're going to continue this concept of with you a lot of times this international flair, as we're
Yes.
going to talk about you and Mr. Fit Finley
Ooh.
in WCW.
All right. Okay.
Now we're going to get right into it, and I just want to know, when you're in WCW,
Yes.
how, to your knowledge, did Mr. Finley come to the attention of WCW and come to WCW, if you know?
There are a lot of tales and the person would know better than anybody is Fit, but I know that from many years before that, Terry Funk had seen Fit Finley. Terry Funk used to come over to work for CWA, which was Otto Vance's promotion in Austria and Germany. And he'd been, as soon as he'd seen Fit, he was coming back telling everybody that the best wrestling villain in the world is Fit Finley. And so when I came here in 1993, any chance I got to mention Fit Finley, I mentioned Fit Finley to a lot of people. And so the actual tale is, I don't know. I know that I'd spoke up highly for him. Whether there were other people that had spoke up highly for him, how he got his job, I really don't know. I do know that I did go and talk to Kevin Sullivan a lot about him, and so that's as much as I know. And as soon as he got here, so again, I'm gonna have to stop saying that. Why do I keep saying again all the time? Stop me, Matt, when I do that. I keep saying again all the time. I'm getting these twitches when I'm old. Now
You're
I'm
doing
older.
it again.
Doing it again. Yeah, I keep saying again. I've got to stop these twitch things that I'm doing. It's like Tourette's or whatever. It's a good job. It's not something else I'm saying instead of again.
Could be worse.
We get taken off the air.
Could be
worse. Yes, yes. But I know I'd spoke up very highly about Fit Finley to Kevin Sullivan. Fit will have his own tale how he got here. I know Kevin Sullivan was interested. From what I could gather at the time, when Kevin is of Irish heritage, and this led into a lot of what myself and Fit did. I think from whatever he'd heard, from whatever he'd seen, from what whoever had told him what, the thought of a hard-hitting Irishman coming over here and putting things to rights was Kevin's, Kevin wanted that.
Yeah, imagine a man from Boston,
right,
wanting a tough Irishman in WCW, right?
And he got one. Not only got one, he got the best. And there's a lot of this that, when I look back on it, I mean, it was. I think Kevin was living a little bit through Fit, if that makes sense.
I can definitely see where Fit's style it would appeal to Kevin Sullivan with his wrestling style. Stomp you in the chest until you're dead.
I'm not talking about the styles. I'm talking about the fact that I think Kevin. Right, this is going to be a weird one, but I always got on very well with Kevin. Kevin always looked after me, and I learned a lot from Kevin. But the idea of a Irishman putting 400 years of tyranny to rights by beating up an Englishman was very appealing to Kevin. So, because I mean, it made no sense if you think about it whatsoever. Fit Finley could have. I was doing my thing. Fit Finley could have done his thing. We'd have both been excellent, which we were. You're
talking about putting you both together right away.
Straight away,
a lot of sense.
Put us together.
Right.
Who at that time in the 90s, most people had no clue what was going on, or had gone on, unless you were of Irish heritage, or nobody knew about.
It wasn't a burning issue,
and they still don't know.
Right.
And they still don't know really, unless you go and study up on the conflict and the troubles between the British and the Irish. And again, I want to stress this: this is a government thing, not a normal British person's problem. Although many British people, because of the media and whatever, were fed this, you know, it was just part of what was going on. But I knew lots of Irish people that because my father was in the construction trade, and a lot of the Irish people came to England to work. So it was not an issue with any of us. This is a government thing, and that's none of my business, the other stuff that was going on. So but to bring, you've got one already not liked villain,
right?
Because this was the 90s and the USA chance, and it was easy if you were it was definitely a leg up if you were a foreigner, and you could play on that. I tried to play on.
At this time in 1996 in WCW, you know, you've got Eddie and Conan, who also kind of did not have defined kind of roles, you know, that made a lot of sense traditionally. So maybe you and Finlay being placed together was part of that new blurring of the lines, maybe?
I think it was more of...
They didn't know what to do with you?
I think it was more of Kevin trying to put his 400 years of tyranny to